but 9 before 9. Can you explain how you came to this name that you used?
Yeah, 100%. So in college, whenever we'd have like an early game day or something, it was always a known thing. Like, oh, like let's get 9 beers in before 9 a.m., 9 before 9. That would be sort of the mantra. And I had just started like playing golf during COVID. And so I was playing like 9 holes of golf before 9 a.m. And
Hell yeah.
it was like a perfect kind of alignment. And so long story short, we ended up on 9 before 9. And
Dude, you were saying it was always our goal to get in 9 beers before 9, and I was expecting PM. And he said 9 a.m. and I'm like, let's go, cakes and eggs. I wonder how this is gonna look on fucking when I record it, because usually it goes this way, 1 and 1. I don't know who's gonna be where. It's gonna be sick. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Free Yourself podcast. For those of you who don't know, my name is Ryan Janni, and I am naked. And today we have two very, very special guests, the newest members of the Realty Records family, Delinquent and 9 before 9. Their track You is coming out on Realty Records on June 15th. I got that right? Yeah, I remembered it all. It's good. So I'm so pumped to talk to you guys about this record and your careers and whatnot. But yeah, man. So congratulations on the release. We want to get these pre-saves up as much as possible. That helps all fucking label or playlisting and stuff on Spotify and stuff. So everybody go pre-save You, Realty Records, Delinquent, 9 before 9. Now, the first question that I'm gonna clear this up right now, because like I was trying to figure it out. I'm really trying to figure it out. I know what a delinquent is, but 9 before 9. Can you explain how you came to this name that you use, this moniker?
yeah, 100%. So first off, Ryan, thank you for having us on the show. Really appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
So in college, whenever we'd have like an early game day or something, it was always a known thing. Like, oh, like let's get 9 beers in before 9 a.m., 9 before 9. That would be sort of the mantra. And then actually, when I first started DJing, I actually had a partner. And so it was Kahan and Kyle. That was the name of my group. And the two of us had like a great run, but he started working a full-time job, and, we're still best friends, but he's, doing his own thing. And so one of my buddies, he started a promotion company here in the DC area called Para Promotions. Check them out. They're awesome. They do some great events in the area. He was like, yo, would you be willing to come on board? And I was like, damn, like, I don't have a name. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I had just started like playing golf during COVID. And so I was playing like 9 holes of golf before 9 a.m. And
hell yeah.
It was like a perfect kind of alignment. And so long story short, we ended up on 9 before 9, and I was able to make the logo myself. And I was like, all right, let's just run with it. And yeah, that was about like a little over a year ago now. So time flies, man, but it's crazy.
Dude, what's even funnier about it is like you were saying, it was always our goal to get in 9 beers before 9, and I was expecting PM. And he said 9 a.m. and I'm like, let's go, cakes and eggs.
Exactly right. Exactly.
That's what we did in college for sure. Fucking cakes and eggs on any time it was like it was homecoming or Greek day or any of that stuff. It's past the statute of limitations. So you can't get my fraternity in trouble for doing kegs when we weren't allowed to do kegs. All right, motherfuckers. Shout out to PodCap Westchester. I think we got kicked off anyway. Some bullshit.
Everyone's been kicked off.
Hey, I was 21 for all 4 years of college. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm still 21. I don't know. It's just like I think it's the 11th anniversary this year of me turning 21. That's what we're calling it.
Good shit, man.
But yeah, another thing that first off, I got huge into golf during COVID, like I think about 90% of golfers our age in America. I am a big proponent of stogies and bogeys all day, except I always have stogies. I don't always get bogeys. That's for damn sure. Bogey golf is great golf for anybody that is out there.
That's the goal, man. I'm still far from it, but we're chipping away. We're chipping away. We're getting at it. So
hell yeah. And I love the symbol you made that you got on your hoodie there. It looks great, man. It looks great.
Appreciate
so well done.
Man. Really appreciate that. I'm
and 949, it really does just like roll off the tongue. Like seriously, like forget about the meaning of it, like just saying it. And that's like very important. I think things that I hold in high regard that I hate when I see the opposite is when someone makes a symbol and like it's hard to read.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, that's your name. You're putting it out there. You need people to be able to be like, all right, that's that guy. Not like, what the fuck is that? And then they're like, oh, well, fuck this guy. That's how I am. I'm like, well, fuck this guy. I'm not even going to look into his shit. Like,
literally every festival lineup ever.
Yeah. I'm like, just clear, simple. Like, and I think Sam actually turned me on. Sam's shout out Ciroc, one of the founders of Realty Records. Shout out to him. One of the times, like way back in this is like when we were first starting out and getting gigs at a club that we're not going to name. How about that? We're going to say that. And up on the wall, on the big friggin' LED wall, it says Ciroc in like the easiest to see lettering and just a thin rectangle around it. And I'm just like, it's so simple. But now everybody here knows exactly what his name is and who this is playing. And I was like, that's actually brilliant. Like, keep it fucking simple so everybody knows who the fuck you are. Like, especially when you're first starting off. So that brings me to Delinquent. You're making it all complicated. No, I'm just kidding.
I actually do make it complicated. I got ones, exclamation points. My email can't be the same. Something you don't think about, but
you can see it.
Yeah.
On the logo, you can fucking read it. It says Delinquent. We all know your name, and I love it, man. And congratulations again, formally, on your move to Colorado out there. How the fuck much do you love that shit right now?
The way I say it to people, bro, is like there's literally everything you could ask for out here, aside from an ocean. And what I mean by that, I mean, there's mountains, obviously, for skiing and hiking. You can go out to the mountains, do whatever you want to do. I'm not even going to go into what that could possibly be. There's partying to be done in the city. Music scene, a lot of people think it's just bass music, but like in all reality, I have found more friends who are into house music out here than I thought I knew in like DC. And it's mind blowing because everybody thinks Denver, Colorado is just like Red Rocks and we're going to go listen to some grungy like dubstep. And that's just not the case all the time. And
not a bad scenario though.
Yeah. Even if it was, still okay with it.
I'm just saying as a guy who's a house guy now, I'm fully
obviously.
That was like definitely a worry. And I was just like completely shocked. Like, it's just not the case out here. And I mean, I could go into a million other things, but like, you're so close to like the entire West Coast, you're close to Vegas, you're close to, Moab Desert. I'm going there in a couple of weeks to like go on like a 30-person trip, and I'm throwing like a concert in the middle of the desert. It's going to be sick.
That's like circle vibes. Let's go.
Seriously. Like there's just so much to do out here that like you really, at least personally, I have not been bored a single weekend. Like even nights where I'm like, I'm going to stay and make music. It's like actually pretty difficult for me to be like, and I've never had that issue before where I'm like, in DC, I've like, kind of been there like my entire life. So like, if somebody's going to a bar, it's like, okay, I've been to that bar 100 times. Like, is it going to be any different this time? Like, probably not. I can stay in and make music. I have no problem doing that. Mm-hmm. Here, it's like I'm staying in and I'm getting texts like, all right, we're going here and we're doing that. And then we're going to go over here and like go to this show. And I'm like, I'm like, no. So I have to really like focus down when I'm like trying to make music and stuff out here, because there's just truly like too much to do that it really draws me in a lot of days. So you gotta be smart about it if you want to keep the music flowing.
Yeah, I can really relate, dude. My freaking move to Philly, moving in with Sam and Steve. There's never not a show. Tonight, freaking people are gonna see this like a week after this, records. But tonight is Rufus the Soul. It's fucking Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, like I got training. I got to sleep. My one night this week that I'm actually gonna go out is for Sirach's birthday. So we got happy birthday, Sirach. We love you.
Ryan, I have like absolutely no self-control. So Rufus is in DC Wednesday. I'm going to Flume Thursday, and then we'll work a full day Friday and make it work. But no,
well,
I know
I went to Disclosure freaking 3 weeks ago on a Wednesday. Like I do it, but like there's so many times, especially now. Like I'm 4 weeks and 3 days away from my competition, and there's one person that I'm really competing against in this competition to actually win the whole thing. And so like I know he's not partying out in fucking Philly, you know what I mean? And the one advantage that I've always had against people that I know about is that I've been clean for fucking 8 years. I don't drink. So I know I have that advantage. So let's try and double down on it, at least in this last month, especially after a freaking week ago, I saw some study that showed when you get like 2 hours less sleep than you normally do, and you don't wake up at the same time, your testosterone is cut in half that day. So like, I can't afford that shit right now.
That's a priority.
I want it to get doubled. I want them to drug test me and it be debatable that I'm on steroids. Like that's what I fucking want.
That's a crazy fact. I didn't know that. I should probably consider that every day of my life, because if I don't have something going on at 9 a.m., I work from home. I'm definitely not waking up at 8 or 9. I'm gonna wait until 10, but my like usual wake up time's 8. But I had no idea. So your testosterone's cut in half. That is that's crazy.
Well, just think about the days when you wake up and you stayed up till 4 or 6 a.m. whatever, doing whatever, and even if it's you still got 6-8 hours, like how much different do you feel than the days where you went to bed at 10, woke up at 6, or went to bed at midnight, woke up at 8, like that type of thing? And you can really tell the difference. For me, I feel it the most like in my brain. It's like brain fog is like how it manifests. And then also like motivation to go to the gym and shit. Like, so for me, that's someone that's, competing, it's very important. Whereas like someone who's exercises just like stay healthy, it's not as important, but it is, because you got fucking, all this work. You want to making music. You want to be able to stay and sit in front of the fucking laptop for a good amount of time and not just wind up being like, or if you do wind up being like that, it's because you were there for 8, 10, 12 hours and you're fucking like, all right, I need to stop staring at this bright light screen. Like, you don't want to start the session being like, all right.
That applies. Like Connor and I worked together at our last company, and like we would go over and try and like work in the lab, and like you're staring at. He'd had this massive TV where he'd just like share his screen, and it would just be like the logic up there, like. We just stared at a computer in the office for like 8 to 10 hours, and now we're in here like grinding this out. Like but I see what you mean. Like if you want to get anything done, you got to have sleep in the routine, man.
Yeah. I also just need to find a good pair of blue light glasses. I'll tell you what, my eyesight has gotten shittier and shittier. I don't know if I can curse on here, by the way. So sorry if I can't. But
absolutely. These are the ones that I got. and they're also fresh as fuck. So like I kind of just like rock them out sometimes as like sick
really
glasses at night.
Do they work well? Like, do they work like well enough where like if you stare at like a screen or something like for 8 hours plus, like are you not just like, are your eyes not just kind of like droopy and all that? Like, do they?
So here's the thing with blue light glasses. It actually has like a misconception. Blue light glasses, if you like to block if either way you're staring at light, right? When you're outside and you're staring at light, that's natural light, right? You're not going to stare directly at the sun, right? But what blue light is specifically for is when you wake up, you're supposed to catch, around sunrise-ish sun in your eyes. And then when the sun is setting, catch that kind of in your eyes. So you match up your circadian rhythm, right? So when the sun sets and your circadian rhythm is like, all right, now we're going to start releasing melatonin to get you tired, and you still want to work on the laptop, that's when you put this on, because the blue light is what's going to trigger to stop the melatonin production and wake you the fuck up, because it's like, oh, it's sunrise and the fucking sun is out again. Like, what is going on? So so once the sun goes down, that's when you should put blue light glasses on if you're going to be working on your laptop and stuff. So
to protect my eyes, I should just be wearing like full blown Kanye shades. Like,
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think you're honestly, you're better off doing things like every half hour to hour, taking a walk away from the laptop and coming back, or getting natural light into your eyes, like breaking it up instead of just like straight fucking 8 to 10 hours on the laptop, which we all know when you're in fucking a creative like flow state is hard to fucking why would I break this up when I'm in this fucking flow state? Like, I don't want to lose this. And so it's a, balance, right?
I feel that.
That's all I got for you with that stuff. Like we have to be in front of this for long hours to make the music, right? Like that's just a part of it. So on when you don't have a big creative session or a big mixing session, or actually when you don't have a big creative session, then fucking make sure we're getting natural sunlight as well, right? But when you have a mix down session or a mastering session, set a timer for half hour, because mixing and mastering, you don't need to be it's not so much the creative flow. It's more of like, I need to make this sound better for the mixing, and then for the mastering, I need to make it sound louder. You're going to do it's more of a, like, anybody can get good at, anybody can get good at mixing and mastering, because it's just executing the thing. Whereas the creative phase, that's what sets people apart. So that we just figured it out together, guys. So there you go. In the creative phase, we will fucking zero in and lock down, and we'll take whatever hit. And then in mixing and mastering, take a break every now and then. Simple as that.
Yeah. Mixing and mastering can come after the creative phase. The creative phase, I feel like that's the sprint where like you're not, or the marathon rather, where you're staying in it. If the flow is right, you're staying in that until you think it's pretty much done. Like, obviously you can go and make tweaks later and whatnot, but like mixing and mastering, you can come back to that 2 days later. Honestly, I think that's probably better in most cases, because you need to give your ears a break. But in the creative phase of things, like if I'm on a heater, like I am not leaving the table. And I know that's a common phrase, but like that applies to making music. Honestly, like if I'm making good music and somebody's like, oh, like let's go eat or whatever, I'm like, nope, like get out, like be gone.
Absolutely. You're in that flow state, and even just that fucking question isn't gonna throw you off, because you're like, nope, we're zeroed in, and like your brain is it's like you become one with the fucking laptop, and you're just like, no, we're not leaving from this fucking spot.
I am.
So I definitely want to talk also about the song "You," because a lot of people don't know just the difficulties of all right, there's difficulties and benefits to working with another person on a track. Now, the difficulties are sending it back and forth, not having the exact same plugins, samples, fucking shit like that. So, but the benefits are each of you have learned music production differently. So you have different strengths. So you bring and different styles that you bring to the table to make something that's usually better than what one of you can do on your own. So that's been my experience with collabs and stuff. And I was a part of a duo too with my buddy, and then he did, got the 9 to 5, and he did same thing that happened with you. Explain to me how you started this track, not you in music. We'll get to that stuff, but explain to me how you started and the experience you guys had going back and forth and collabing on this track.
Connor, I'll start us off. I mean, I think so. Connor got like crazy deep into producing during the very beginning of COVID. And I remember just being like, holy crap. Like, he was sending me some stuff that he was putting together. And I was like, luckily we grew up in the same hometown. So I was like, this guy is like popping off right now. And we were working together too. So it was kind of like this perfect storm where I was like, why don't I just come over after work and like see what you're cooking up? And after like a couple sessions, we started working on like a light house track that like wasn't really going anywhere. We kind of had like a quote we wanted to include. We were like trying to put together a couple different like bass lines and whatnot. And then we kind of scrapped that, and Connor started working not only on like his Delinquent project. That was like more of like the For Sure side, which I'm sure you guys can jump into that later on. I don't want to spoil anything there, but that's when like he was like, let's do a Delinquent type track, and started putting together a couple elements. And like, we were like sitting there looking at each other, like, how do we like this? Does this work well here? And so we actually were able to avoid some of the back and forth, since we were able to be in sort of his production studio together. But I'll kick it to Connor, like, if you want to take it from there, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool process, just because like Kaon said, we kind of started with this house track, and it just like, I don't know, it just wasn't really like, sometimes when you make music, like honestly, like a lot of people just think like, oh, you can just make bangers all day. Like, that's not the case. Like, the amount of times that I'll like sit there for hours and I'll be like making something and it's trash, and like I know it's trash, and I'll wake up and just be like, God. And like, you just kind of have to accept that and like move on. And it wasn't that our song was terrible, but it just like, it didn't have legs. And I was like, you know what, like, let's put this on pause and like, let's start a new track. And I think it was really only like Kaon and I, like you said, like we lived pretty close to each other. So this was back when I was living in DC, and we got this done in like 4 sessions, maybe at most. Yeah. And like, it was like probably 2 hours here, like 3-4 hours there, like just really easy back and forth. He was at my place, like, we were just getting it all done, like right in front of each other. So there's not any of that back and forth. And like, by the end of it, I just remember like press and play, like, on the project, like without mixing mastering. And I was just like, and I was like, this is going to be great. So
hell yeah.
Well, the Santiago master too, just like really, I think brought it all together.
Santiago is a beast. If you guys don't know that guy, he's mastered like, I think the last 4 or 5 of my own tracks personally, but like that guy is a savage. He knows what he's doing, pretty fairly cheap, good price. And, he does a great job. So shouts out to Santiago, by the way.
Hell yeah. Maybe I'll reach out to him again. I'll be like, yo, so I heard you mastered this track that we're doing for this. So, but yeah, that's awesome, man. Always want to make sure we shout out the homies, and especially, the track is freaking sick, boys. Like, it's freaking sick.
It's heavy. It's like gritty.
Yeah. Perfect mix of like UK bass and like that aggressive sound and like kind of the hype sound. Like, so like, I feel like everybody obviously has their own sound. Like, I go for some of the more dark and demonic type shit sometimes, but like this one, I was like, like Gail and I like honestly meshed our like sounds together, and we came up with this like hype UK bass, kind of like, sexy vocals leading into like the just really aggressive, like blood pumping type drop.
It's a perfect song for the gym, for, if you're skiing, snowboarding, driving fast, anything aggressive, like this is the track for you.
It's the people going.
Fuck yeah. So that's another thing I wanna talk to you guys about. So obviously out in Colorado, you've got, a million things that you can do out in the wilderness and stuff. But you grew up playing lacrosse, Connor. What about you, Kahan?
Yeah, I grew up wrestling and playing lacrosse. I played for the club team at JMU. Shout out JMU Club Lacrosse. Great time.
JMU is sick. I visited there a couple times. Barely remember anything from visiting there.
It's got it for everyone.
Wait, but the dining hall at JMU. Shout out the dining hall at JMU. Fire. Way better than what was at Winchester.
I visited JMU like 4 or 5 times. I don't think I ever once touched my foot inside that dining hall. Now I feel like
you missed out, man. You missed out.
Seriously.
What's going on? I was eating
it's like rated like really high. It's known for that part. That's like one of the things that JMU is known for is their dining hall. They have like it was nuts. I'm also was very, very stoned back then. So it's now not so much, but like back then.
Harrisonburg has some awesome restaurants as a whole. Like it's definitely like if you're trying to go have a good like food weekend in a quiet town, but also have some really nice meals, like that's a sweet spot.
Hell yeah, man. So I played X in lacrosse. That was my favorite position. Shout out Excision. No, so what positions did you guys play?
I was a face-off midfielder. So like I was midfield basically the entire time. But like, once college came around, it's like it got a little bit more specific in terms of your position. So I ended up being just a straight face-off guy in college. But yeah, midfield was a lot of fun in high school. Not to say like a douchebag, but literally like, being a person who's like committed to school and like you're playing against people who are just not, it's like you just dominate. And that feeling honestly is like pretty fun. But then like towards the end, you're kind of like, all right, like where's like the actual competition? And then college is where that's at.
Yeah. Then you get to college and you're on the level playing field with everybody there.
Yep.
I wasn't nearly as good at lacrosse as Connor and some of our other homies growing up, but I played attack until my senior year and I switched to midi just because that's where we needed bodies. And then in college, same thing. So it's a good time.
Yeah. When I first started at Notre Dame High School, I picked it up. I was a hockey player my whole life. That was like my big thing. And everyone just started playing lacrosse in my hometown. And I went to a Catholic high school and I was like, you know what? So many of my hockey teammates have growing up have always played lacrosse. I was like, I got this shit. I picked up a stick and immediately was able to just like have a catch. And I'm just like, well, it's the same shit. I'm just, instead of down here, now I'm up here. I'm like, it's all cradling, all this thing with stick hand. I'm like, I'm gonna play this shit. Yeah. and They started me out at defensive midi, and by the end of the season, I was starting attack because fuck that shit. I hate running. Fuck defense. I want to score.
I will say, I mean, you're not far off on that. Like some of the best lacrosse players I ever played with were also like studs at hockey. Like I think it translates so well in terms of a sport because like basically the same motion, like you're saying, it's just like up here instead of down there. And like these kids, I mean, regardless of their skill at lacrosse, like they were the shiftiest motherfuckers you would ever see. Like they would do some pulling cats out of the hat type shit in the middle of the field, like and make kids like look ridiculously dumb. And I was just like, how do you have like the wherewithal on the field in the moment to be like, all right, I'm going to toe drag this. I'm gonna like spin around with my stick in one hand and like shoot it between my legs one-handed and like hit like top corner. I was like, dude, I don't get it. Like, how does that happen?
Dude, lacrosse is so much fucking fun. I wish I fucking kept playing in college. I stuck with just hockey in college, but it's the similarities with the stick handling is it's all about feel of this fucking, you know, hockey puck and lacrosse ball are very similar in weight too. And they're both rubber. The hockey puck's a little harder, but the lacrosse ball hurts just as much whenever you get hit with it. And the one thing that's always blown my mind about lacrosse is how the goalies wear less padding than the fucking players. Like in hockey, you see how much more padding the goalie fucking wears. And in lacrosse, they're just like, I'm going to wear sweatpants and a cup. Maybe a baseball catcher's fucking chest protector and a helmet, maybe gloves, like that shit.
No elbow pads, definitely no elbow pads.
Yeah, definitely no elbow pads. And
cup was the most important part, easily, I think.
Yeah. And do you watch professional sports? Do you have like a favorite team you follow? Are you a Philly guy like through and through? Go Birds, or where are you at?
I'm gonna keep my opinion on Philadelphia teams. I love the people of Philadelphia so much. I'm such good friends with so many of them.
Losing so many subscribers.
I know. I love when I will say this: when Philadelphia teams do well, so many of my friends are so happy and get to enjoy what I, as a Yankees, Giants, Devils fan in championships, have got to enjoy in my life. So I'm very happy when they do well, especially like the Giants. Who knows what's going to happen with them? But our whole front office is Buffalo Bills, baby. So
I'm upset about it, quite frankly. It's really funny because you stole everybody from us. You're on a heater.
Literally everybody except Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Wow. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And like, but I'm still like in the air about how they're gonna be. And if the Eagles do well, the atmosphere where I live in Philly and all of that, and all my friends are going to be ecstatic. So like, I'm okay with that too. Like it's not, I used to be very, anti-Philly, anti any team that wasn't my team. But like, as I gotten older, I realized like the guys that are on the field are going out to fucking steak dinners with their $1 million paychecks after, and they don't give a fuck who was wearing what color shirt in the stands. And the people that are fighting in the stand because they're wearing different color shirts, like, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because Tom Brady and Eli Manning went out to dinner after they played in the Super Bowl together. You know what I mean? Like it just, so I've really let that go. Like, but when I'm hanging out with my friends and we're going back and forth and shit, it's like, it's just fun to poke the bear, I
got a quick anecdote for Philly fans. I went to, so I'm a Commanders fan now.
Yeah. Commies, the fucking commies. Yeah.
Go Manders. Go Manders. Thank you for Carson Wentz, by the way. He's about to lead us to a division title. But anyway, I'm like with my dad, and it's my first time going to an NFL game. I was probably like 14 or 15. Been a big fan for a long time. The Redskins then were visiting the Eagles, and I remember it was a pretty meaningless game. Game's coming to an end. We're walking out of the stadium. My dad's like, "Hey, like, let's be smart here. Like the Redskins won. Let's just take our jerseys off. Like, we don't want any trouble heading out. Like, we're in their hometown. Like, it's all good." He's like, "I grew up here." He's kind of like he grew up in Haddonfield, just outside of the Philly area. Mm-hmm. So he's got a little bit of a Randall Cunningham soft spot and all that. So we take our jerseys off and we're walking, and literally 2 minutes later, a guy in a Eli Manning jersey at a Eagles Redskins game, I see him just start talking shit to a bunch of Birds fans, and like a pack of crazed dogs, they just like start bopping him. And my dad is like, "That is exactly why we do not mess with the people of Philadelphia." And it's like burned in my head. Like, this guy had no idea what he was getting himself into. It was too funny. But
I'm a Bills fan. I had a Bills license plate when I went to visit Philly like last summer, and literally got my tires swiped or like slashed like by parking it on the street. The Bills and Eagles just don't even play each other.
Literally,
like what? It was like why?
AFC, NFC,
like why? Like literally why? I was like, what did I do to you? Like, what did my team do to you? It was like Virginia license plate. Like, all right, this guy's probably somehow loosely related to the Redskins or Commanders, whatever they were at the time. Actually, no, we were Washington football team at the time. We've had but I was just like, I remember I was leaving there and like literally no, nothing came up on the dash. Like, it was like driving through the city, like, wow, what a great trip, whatever. Get on the highway, hit like 70 miles an hour. My tires like blow out. I'm like, oh my God. The cop who stopped was like, yeah, this is definitely like a malicious thing that somebody had done to your car. I was like, oh, it's like, okay, cool. It's like, love Philly though.
You know, Philly wears their heart on their sleeve. I will tell you that shit. They do not, they love their teams and do not like anybody else. And even, you know, the Bills, what is there not to like about the Buffalo Bills, man? Such a lovable team. Like the players, the only thing that sucks about Buffalo is like Buffalo, like fucking cold as shit. Like I will say, we all have something to thank Buffalo for, and it's buffalo wing sauce, right? Come on.
Thank you for recognizing that. A lot of people don't know that. Where did buffalo wing sauce come from?
It has nothing to do. We're not eating like. There's no such thing as wings on a buffalo. Buffalo wings comes from the town of Buffalo wing sauce, like.
So let me ask you guys this. Have you ever been, I assume, have either of you been to Buffalo?
No, I'm talking so much shit on Buffalo. I've never been there.
So first of all, you guys, whether you want to or not during football season, I will say football games, regardless of where you lie fandom wise, are so much fun. It's the most ridiculous time in the world going to one of those games. It's outside freezing cold. Everybody's like shirtless, like literally drinking a million beers. It's like,
no, they're naked. Come on.
They're fucking naked, bro.
It's completely mental, like what's going on, but like it's a lot of fun. But regardless of that, if you go there, there is a legitimate wing tour. You can go bar hopping to these wing spots. And I've done this, I think 4 or 5 times now. And there's about 20 of these places that are like renowned for being like some of the best buffalo wings you can eat. And every person that I bring there that has never been comes out and they're like, dude, this has ruined buffalo wings for me in any other place. Like I have never had anything that good in terms of buffalo wings or sauce or whatever it is. And so anyway, you got to go. If you go, you got to go on the wing tour. I will be going this year if anyone wants to meet me there. But I'll be going probably 2 or 3 times actually, because but
I will say, Bills Mafia was my fantasy team name last year because I had Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and
Singletary.
No.
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox, yeah. Fuck yeah.
I'm a big fantasy guy. So.
Because a legend.
Dude, first off, that name, Dawson Knox, like fucking legendary. Can't believe it took me a while to remember it. But one thing that I will say about Buffalo, if I go there, I'm gonna go to a September game or a preseason game when it's not fucking preseason, and I'm gonna buy a bottle of fucking buffalo wing sauce at every one of those wing stop places. And if they don't sell it, I'm fucking scooping it off the plate into a fucking container.
I mean, you have to. So there is one place that sells it. Well, actually, a lot of the places sell it, but Anchor Bar is like, I guess, one of the first ones, and they sell some pretty solid sauce. And then I don't know, keep like Duff's in your mind. I don't know. I'll have to send you guys a list of all the like really solid places, but all of them are actually fantastic. So if you ever make it up there, you got to go on the wing tour. It's like a full weekend thing. I mean, seriously, like it's not, obviously there's the football games and drinking and all that, but like outside of that, the wings and just going to each of these bars, like you just get so much of like I don't know, the town is just a vibe. That's all I can say.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's fucking breaking tables and jumping through tables and fucking crazy. There's this one video of this guy who's just like standing there and everyone's spraying him with ketchup and mustard and he's just like loving it. And it's fucking, he's like, I'm not like, not a little bit, like he's just like covered in like Bills Mafia tailgates they might be the best tailgates in the NFL. Like
that guy's been doing that at every home game since like I don't even know when. Like that guy's like a legend in Buffalo. It's pretty funny.
like that. That smell. How do you get that out?
I mean, I can't say I would really want to have like mustard and ketchup really squirted all over my face and body, but you know, to each their own.
If I was eating
yourself, man.
wings and getting sprayed with buffalo wing sauce, no, because that shit gets in the wrong spot.
Yeah,
Hot sauce is not good. I learned that from pledging my fraternity.
Can you elaborate? Please elaborate.
I plead the fifth on any of that stuff. What was done to me or I did to other people, I plead the fifth.
So but talked a lot about Buffalo, Ryan. Are you got any travel plans coming? Are you going to any music festivals or anything this summer?
So the one that I have a ticket for so far is Project Glow in Philly. I heard so many good things about the DC one.
Nuts in DC. It was nuts. Dude, the Glow team, they know what they're doing, man. They really run it with the Somniac helping out too. It's like you can't go wrong with it.
Hell yeah. And then Sam, fucking Ciroc and Hef, the guys are playing Big Dub. So that's like or Elements or both. I forget. Did I just blow their announcements? I don't even know.
I hit my mouth right now. I didn't think about that. You're right.
Yeah, I know they announced one of them at least because I was like, oh shit.
Oh wait, Big Dub did come out. They put it on Instagram. I saw. Okay, yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, the other one.
I'm definitely, and you know,
go back, edit that out. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna text them after this and be like, "Yo, so did you guys? Are you also playing Elements or not?" But the Elements lineup though, I like a lot more than the Big Dub lineup. I will say that it looks fucking insane, and I've still technically like. I will say. You know what? And I might cut this out because I don't like this kind of stuff being out there. Fisher, we all know Chris, like, you know, whatever. We all know the connection there, right? Fisher is still the best follow on Instagram out of everybody in the world. And I've still never seen him live. And I know he's going to put on an incredible show. So like the fact that he's on that lineup too, I don't care how many fucking frat bros are going to also be there. I will be right in the middle of all of them. Hands on their fucking shoulders, jumping up.
Rez is there too, man. You know you need some of that.
I've seen everyone else on the lineup, Seth Troxler and Fisher are like the two that I have. Oh, and Shermanology, who's like, yeah, fire. And then Papa Claude, who's my all-time. So
I will say Fisher has been putting on some wild shows as of recently. Like his live performances have really upgraded in my opinion since like, you know, when he like when was that when he put out Losing It?
Hold on. Let's take guesses. Connor, what's your guess for year of Losing It?
2018, I think. I gotta say 2018.
Oh, that's good. I'm between 17 and 19. I'm gonna go with 17 just because 18 is a good guess.
17.
Yeah. 18 is probably the answer, but I'll say 2019 just so we got 17, 18, 19. It's
gonna be the winner.
No, it's not gonna be 2009. It's definitely 2018. Let's see. Unless it's like December 2017, right?
Oh
fingers crossed.
Looking it up, Losing It, Fisher.
Winner gets some of your merch. Is that like the
2018.
That's a good call, sweetie.
Hell yeah.
I saw him in 18. It was like he was just doing the tour and basically playing that song for literally for like 5-10 minutes of his entire show. Like every time he just play like the extended mix and everything and like let the drop happen like 12 times. Right? That was going on. Now he's like actually, I mean, given like that was when he was blown up, that's his big song, very similar. And, you know, again, it's like similar to like the A Craze situation. Like, I mean, or A Craze, like he, you know, Do It To It, like became literally the biggest song in the world overnight. And like, no doubt in my mind that guy's playing like every remix that's ever been made of that song during his sets. Like there's no question, but like, and given I haven't seen him live, but like, you know, nowadays, like Fisher is literally like an elite DJ. Like he is like really getting the crowd going, like, and not just with like all the, you know, gimmicks and whatnot. Like he's like actually a good DJ. And I'm
dude, the collab with Shermantology is so tough.
Bang, bang, bang. It's a killer fire.
Also, though, anyone going to Elements, check out my boy Keenan. Shout out New Androids, DC-based DJs. He's going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be sweet. So there's a lot of great like talent kind of throughout the cracks at that lineup too. So even from top to bottom.
Yeah, it's gonna be freaking wild, man. That I have to go to Elements and Big Dub. Don't have tickets yet. I'm kind of just gonna be like, yo, Ciroc.
on that guest list, like,
yeah, I heard from a little birdie. No, if anything, I want to figure out some way for either of those festivals to be like, know that the only reason why I'm buying a fucking ticket is because my fucking boys are there. So like they get credit, you know what I mean? Like because you book these festivals, they get these, you know, these giant acts, and they know it's because they're gonna draw people. But like really at this point in my life and my career, like I've seen almost everybody that I want to see. And like I've been to festivals from starting in 2011 with ID Fest in Philly to fucking Tomorrow World in Tomorrow World in Atlanta. And Tomorrowland is like the one that I haven't gone to, right? And
bucket list.
So, yeah, I'm just that stuff doesn't really impress me now, and it's more of like, unless I'm booked or like my boys are booked, I don't really care about going to those festivals. Like if anything, like I need to be working on more music so that I do get booked for these festivals instead of going. Like I'm 31, you know, I'm not a young buck anymore. I got a business to run, and I got my training, and I got music. So like, but I will say, all these shows and stuff that I go out and I see, and it is really inspirational. I will say that. But I'm at the point where I'm like, these fucking long nights out, like I feel it. I feel it, man. And it sets me back. And if we can just start a culture where like all we do are day parties, it would be so sick, bro. Like,
hey, I'm very much into that. My years are limited in terms of the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. nights at this point.
Yeah. And what sucks is like my apartment in Philly with Sam and Steve is like the sickest after spot. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
All about the afters.
It really is all about the afters. Afters are all the magic happens.
Dude, especially because like I vibe so hard with Tech House. It's just like the perfect afters atmosphere. But then I go to sleep, and my apartment windows are facing right at sunrise. So no matter how black the curtains and stuff are, and there's a bunch of construction in Fishtown. So like 7 a.m. every day of the week, there's a jackhammer going off somewhere, fucking around my shit. So it's tough, man. It's tough. But you know, unless I'm like booked for that stuff, it's getting harder and harder for me to justify like staying out that late, because it fucking hurts my body.
Yep. Yeah, I can attest to
that. Well, boys, we are coming up on the hour here. I have to reiterate to everyone: go pre-save you. Realty Records, Delinquent, 9 Before 9. This track, filthy. It's a banger. I'm so pumped for this. Oh man, this is going on my playlist for sure for the gym. We are absolutely going to be bumping this at Diesel and Dan Campa's. I'm going to fucking go over to Spotify and turn that shit on. Make sure everybody hears that shit. But first, before we close this, Delinquent and 9 Before 9, tell everybody how they can follow you, support you, and in your careers.
I'll let Keon go first.
True. Yeah, just throw me a follow on Instagram. That'd be huge. 9before9.eth. Yes, we're riding this crypto wave all the way down and back up. So, if you guys want to plug in like that, also check me out on SoundCloud. So yeah, other than that, kick it to Connor.
Yeah, for me, it's Instagram as well. Is literally the only mode of social.
We got to get on TikTok, man.
I really do.
Any TikTok managers, slide in my DMs. Please.
Yeah, right. Same.
But Delinquent Music, DE1 DE1 INQUENT _music on Instagram, and then SoundCloud and Spotify as well. Any follows are appreciated on those.
Hell yeah, boys. And once again, June 15th, you on Realty Records. Shout out to Ciroc and Ralph. These fucking boys. This track is filthy. Go freaking pre-save that shit. And thank you guys so much for coming on and doing this. It's been a fucking pleasure. I can't wait to see you guys soon. So Project Glow and Buffalo Bills game. That's our goals this year.
Lock them in.
Thanks for having us, man. This has been great.
You man.
Absolutely. Until next time, everybody tuned in. Peace, love, unity, respect. Well, I love you guys. Peace and love, guys.
Take care, man. Thank you.